Oliver Tree's death has shaken the music world to its core. 6 people went up in 2 helicopters over Rio de Janeiro on the morning of June 14, 2026, and none of them came back down. The tributes that followed tell you everything you need to know about who Oliver Tree was. Oliver Tree, the chart-topping musician and comedian who skyrocketed to fame with his 2017 track When I'm Down, died in a helicopter crash in Brazil. He was 32. He was among 6 killed when 2 helicopters collided in Recreio dos Bandeirantes in the southwest zone of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, on Sunday morning. There were no survivors. 5 people were aboard one aircraft, while the other carried only its pilot. The other passengers, along with Tree, were independent director and screenwriter Lucas Vignal, Gaspar Prim, better known as the Argentinian YouTuber Gaspy, and DJ and producer Lucas Brito Chavez. The pilots were Alexandra Souza and Charles Marcelac. Preliminary information from the fire department indicated that the helicopters collided mid-air before crashing into a parking lot, where dozens of parked cars caught fire. Authorities in Brazil are continuing to investigate the cause of the crash. One helicopter reportedly crashed into a vehicle storage area and sparked a fire among parked electric vehicles. Now here's what makes this hit so differently. As recently as the day before the crash, Tree had been posting content to social media from his time in Brazil. Posts reportedly showed him exploring local communities, interacting with residents, and enjoying recreational activities in the days leading up to the accident, just hours before the collision. Tree had reportedly shared content from his time in the country, making the news even more heartbreaking for followers. He wasn't hidden away. He wasn't quiet. He was doing exactly what he always did, documenting everything, making people laugh, being present, and then he was gone. His final performance had taken place the weekend before the crash in São Paulo. As part of a global headline tour, Tree was in the middle of his headlining world tour for his 4th studio album, Love You Madly, Hate You Badly, which was entirely self-produced. The tour kicked off May 30 in Mexico City and was to include stops in China, Japan, Antarctica, New Zealand, and South Africa. Antarctica. That tells you everything about who this man was. He wasn't touring arenas, he was touring the entire planet. The music world found out the way most people find out about everything now, in fragments, in real time, through phones. And when the news landed, it didn't just spread, it detonated. Known for turning absurdity into art and vulnerability into anthems, Tree spent years defying expectations at every turn. In death, he united the music community around a shared sense of loss. Diplo was the first major name to go public with a full tribute, and he didn't hold anything back. He had collaborated with Tree on Ultraman, the theme for the Netflix superhero film Ultraman Rising, and described Tree as witty as F and cooler than everyone in a lengthy post on Instagram, accompanied by a carousel of images of the two together. He said Tree was 1000% himself and on a mission to add more joy to this music scene, and that he'd never experienced anyone with that level of vibration. Diplo described how Oliver's death doesn't feel real. Part of me still thinks I'm going to see him in a few weeks. Exactly like always, what a ficking rock star he was, he added. KSI came through immediately after. He paid tribute on X, writing, "Can't believe I'm actually having to type this. You're 32, man. You should still be here." He continued, "You still had so much life to live, so much music to make, so much content to make. You're a legend and will always be a legend." Baby Rexha wrote on X that she was in shock and so sad, remembering Tree as passionate, talented, and kind. Kid Cudi hailed Tree as a really amazing and beautiful human. T-Pain went a different direction, not grief, but gratitude. He thanked Oliver for sharing your art and for always being different in the best way possible. That phrase, always being different, kept coming up, over and over from people who barely knew him, from people who'd spent years by his side. The same words, unprompted subtronics, who had remixed Tree's Fuck the Whole World and invited him on stage at Coachella to perform it live in April, wrote, "The world lost a truly incredible visionary artist today." That Coachella moment had happened just 2 months before his death. the two of them sharing a stage in front of tens of thousands of people. And now this. The tributes didn't slow down, they multiplied. By the end of that first day, practically every corner of the internet, music, comedy, internet culture had stopped to say something, because Oliver Tree wasn't just a musician, he was a phenomenon. And to understand why his death hit so hard, you have to go back to where it all started. Oliver Tree Nickel was born on June 29, 1993, in Santa Cruz, California. The genre-diverse artist began releasing music under the name Tree in 2010. He wasn't a kid who stumbled into music. He said he took piano lessons at 3 years old, began songwriting the next year, and had an album written by age 6. That kind of obsession doesn't come from ambition. It comes from something much deeper, a need to create that doesn't know how to be anything else. Tree, synonymous later with his bowl cut and vibrant 80s fashion, spent his early career producing dubstep and performing in the San Francisco Bay Area under the artist name Tree. He formed a following by self-releasing his own music over the internet in the 2010s, including a Thom Yorke-approved cover of Radiohead's Karma Police that featured on his debut EP, Demons. Thom Yorke, Radiohead. Approving a cover by some kid from Santa Cruz who no one knew yet. That should have told people something. Around 2013, he took a hiatus from singing and went back to school, studying music technology at the California Institute of the Arts. He returned to music in 2016 and featured on the song Forget It by Getter, a part of Getter's EP Radical Dude. That collaboration with Getter mattered more than most people realize. It placed him inside the electronic music world, gave him production instincts that most pop artists would never develop. He wasn't just a singer writing melodies, he was thinking in sonic architecture. In 2016, Within released When I'm Down, a poppy early fall hit that put Tree on the map with his feature. After When I'm Down went viral, Oliver signed to Atlantic Records in 2017. In 2017, he made his official debut as Oliver Tree with the single Welcome to LA, and became known for sporting a striking bowl cut, purple windbreaker, red glasses, and JNCO jeans. It was a look that shouldn't have worked. By every rational measure, it should have been laughed off. Instead, it became one of the most recognizable images in alternative music. His music came with meme-friendly, creatively unpredictable visuals. Throughout his career, he utilized several different characters and performance eras, as well as used a mix of internet trolling and meme marketing to promote his music. This is the part that most people misread when they first encountered Oliver Tree. They thought the joke was the point. They thought the bowl cut, the scooter, the oversized clothes, the deliberately absurdist energy, they thought it was a bit a performance, a gimmick. It wasn't. It was armor. And underneath, it was real, actual feeling. His double music video, All That Ex-Alien Boy, which he wrote and directed himself, amassed over 50 million views and introduced his retro oddball aesthetic to a general audience. Oliver Tree's major label debut, the EP Alien Boy, came out in 2018. His debut album Ugly is Beautiful followed in 2020. As he rolled out those major label debuts, Tree embraced increasingly gaudy visuals that courted memes, often at his own expense. That's a calculated choice. You make yourself the punchline before anyone else can. You own it first. And when you own it, when the bowl cut and the windbreaker and the scooter are yours, not someone else's joke about you, something shifts. People stop laughing at you and start rooting for you. Known for his eccentric fashion, bowl haircut, and genre-blending alternative pop hits like Life Goes On and Miss You, Tree had amassed a following of nearly 20 million users across social media platforms and more than 11 million monthly listeners on Spotify. 20 million social media followers. More than 11 million monthly Spotify listeners. And he got there without ever sanding down a single weird edge. Prior to the announcement of Cowboy Tears, Tree had stated numerous times that his debut album, Ugly is Beautiful, would be his last release as Oliver Tree, and that, after its release, he would be retiring from music. However, on June 27, 2021, he made an Instagram post stating that he had come out of retirement to record Cowboy Tears. He retired, then he came back. That, too, was very Oliver Tree. He understood the performance of his own career better than anyone. There are artists who make hits, and then there are artists whose hits become something that outlives the chart position, something that attaches itself to people's lives in a way that has nothing to do with radio play or streaming numbers. Oliver Tree was the second kind. Life Goes On was written and produced alongside DJ Getter and released on May 28, 2021 through Atlantic Records. As the second single from the deluxe version of his debut album, Ugly is Beautiful, Tree stated in an interview that the song is about a problematic relationship where one person treats the other person badly and that people shouldn't waste time on toxic people. That's it. That's the entire thesis. Simple enough to fit on a post-it, and yet the song spread across the internet in a way that almost no song does anymore. Not because it was engineered for virality, but because it said something true. His biggest single on TikTok, Life Goes On, took off in 2021 and has since been used in over 307 million videos. 307 million videos. People cooking, people crying, people watching their kids take their first steps, people sitting in cars at 2 a.m. not sure what they're feeling. All of it set to the same song. That's not a hit. That's an adoption. Life Goes On has more than 464 million views on YouTube, while Miss You has accumulated 382 million plus views on the same platform. Miss You. The collaboration with Robin Schulz took a completely different route to get to the same place. It had been boosted globally through its remix life and endless online circulation, and reappeared in fan posts in the hours after his death. Its clipped, bruised energy now reads differently for people processing the news. That is the strange afterlife of pop music. A track built for parties, edits, or chaotic scrolling can instantly become a place where people put grief, gratitude, and memory. That's what happened when the news broke. Within hours, the internet was drowning in Oliver Tree. But not the meme Oliver Tree, not the guy in the bowl cut doing something absurd on a scooter. The real one, the one who'd been hiding in plain sight inside songs that people had been listening to for years without quite knowing why they kept coming back. Many tributes focused on the strange comfort of his catalog. Songs that sounded ridiculous on first pass, then suddenly became painfully sincere. When life got messy, that contradiction was always central to Oliver Tree. He knew what he was doing. Every time, the absurdism was the door. The emotion was what waited on the other side. His second album, Cowboy Tears, a country album for people who don't like country, as he described it, arrived in 2022. His third major label studio album, Alone in a Crowd, was released on September 29, 2023 through Atlantic Records. Then came the biggest pivot of his career. He left Atlantic Records to release his fourth album independently through his own label called Alien Boy Records. He returned to his independent roots to release Love You Madly, Hate You Badly via that label. After nearly 2 years of not releasing music, Tree had begun performing demos and songs in his concerts. He performed the song Superhero at a Red Rocks concert in October 2025. He recorded the album while traveling across the world, exploring 80 countries and 7 continents. 80 countries, 7 continents. He took the most personal album of his career and dragged it across the face of the earth to find it. He performed at Coachella 2026 alongside Subtronics just 2 months before his death. That was the last time most of his fans saw him perform on a major stage. At Coachella, of all places, going harder than he ever had, playing a brand new album, doing it independently, doing it on his own terms. The timing of all of it is brutal. A new album, a world tour, an independent label, everything pointing forward. And then Rio. Here's where you have to separate Oliver Tree the character from Oliver Tree the person, because a lot of people encountered the character first and assumed that was all there was. It wasn't close to all there was. Ethan Klein paid an emotional tribute to Tree. In a lengthy post on X, I'm in disbelief, still desperate to think this is part of an elaborate prank. Klein began. That seems like something he'd do, right? The truth is, no matter how desperate I am, to not believe it, my friend Oliver has passed away. He described Tree as having an ability that was unmatched by anyone else I know, to make friends in all corners of the world. Klein concluded his online tribute by describing Tree as a dear friend and collaborator. The real tragedy is that the world lost a true artist, a passionate and gifted storyteller, and a radiant light that shined upon so many of us, he added. His light is now extinguished in my life, and the world is darker for it. That phrase, make friends in all corners of the world, matters. Because when you look at who was grieving Oliver Tree, it wasn't just one scene, it was every scene. EDM, alternative, hip-hop, internet comedy, YouTube, film, he didn't belong to one world, he'd built relationships in all of them. Singer-songwriter Melanie Martinez, who used to date Tree, posted a remembrance for him hours after the news broke. Been an absolute wreck today, she wrote, on her Instagram story. She wrote, it's really hard to understand how someone who you once shared such a specific and formative time of your life with can all of a sudden be gone. He was so dedicated to his art, which I admired and respected deeply. She continued, I think everyone who knew him will look back at those moments of laughter and joy he so easily sparked. His laugh was so contagious and warm. His ability to lead creatively and take action, while also maintaining a sense of childlike wonder and awe, was so inspiring. He had such a heart and was a true artist in every way. She added, rest in peace, Oliver. I know you're making the angels giggle. I'll be here wondering what stunt and creative project you're scheming up in heaven. That last line says everything. Even in grief, nobody could quite picture Oliver Tree being still. KSI and Tree had collaborated in 2023 on Voices, a single co-written alongside Connor Blake Manning and Sarah Bowe, with production from Digital Farm Animals and Mojam. The track debuted at number 11 on the UK singles chart and later surpassed 9 million views. Beyond its commercial performance, Voices reflected a working relationship that had sparked discussion about potential future collaborations before Tree's death. That possibility has now been cut short. Now, here's something that resurfaced almost immediately after the news broke, and it stopped people cold. After he was killed, fans revisited some of his recent interviews, including one filmed just 2 months before his death, during which Tree discussed his plans for his will. I don't believe that any of the wealth or the things that get made from it is mine, he said on The Zach Sang Show. So, when I die, I've set it up. My will is set up that when I pass, my family. No one's going to get a penny. He was dressed as Shrek during that interview. That detail somehow makes it even more Oliver Tree, discussing his own death, his own legacy, his own relationship to wealth and family, dressed as Shrek. The absurdism and the sincerity inseparable right to the end. He'd been thinking about it, about what it meant to make things, to own things, to leave things behind. He'd decided the wealth wasn't his to pass on. It belonged to whatever foundation would carry his work forward after he was gone. In addition to writing and producing his music, he had a passion for directing, typically helming his own music videos, which were known for their highly theatrical and eccentric style. He set the Guinness World Record for the world's largest kick scooter in 2020, a feat entirely consistent with a career built on deliberate, joyful absurdity. That's the line right there. Deliberate, joyful, absurdity. Nothing he did was accidental. Every strange choice, every outrageous visual, every bit that made you go, why is he doing this? It was all considered. He knew exactly what he was building. Diplo recalled how Oliver was always so witty and cooler than everyone. He said, I don't think we'll ever have another human like this again. No rules, no apologies. He was 1000% himself and on a mission to add more joy to this music scene. No rules, no apologies. That's the whole biography right there. Oliver Tree Nickel built an audience not by fitting into a genre, but by making the internet itself his medium. Accumulating hundreds of millions of streams across a 4-album catalog he completed just weeks before his death. Just weeks. He finished the work. The world tour was already rolling. The album was out. He'd gone independent. Started his own label, recorded across 80 countries, played Coachella, played Sao Paulo. He got to see it happen. He got to feel what it meant to finish the thing on his own terms. That's Not Nothing. On May 4, 2026, Oliver announced he would be going on tour called the World's First World Tour. The name alone, the World's First World Tour. Only Oliver Tree names a world tour that, and then he actually planned stops on every continent, including Antarctica. The man was going to perform in Antarctica. For Australian fans, the news landed with added weight. He had been due to return to Australia in October 2026. Tickets sold, shows booked, plans made, all of it gone in a Sunday morning in Brazil. Across social platforms, fans shared clips, lyrics, tour memories, and personal stories tied to Tree's music. The volume of it was staggering. Not just from people who'd been to shows, but from people who'd never seen him live, people who'd only ever experienced him through a phone screen, through TikTok, through a YouTube video, through a song playing in someone else's room. Tree had built a significant following on social media, particularly on TikTok, where he had amassed 15.4 million followers. Those aren't just numbers. Those are 15.4 million people who'd spent time inside his world, who'd let the bowl cut and the scooter and the windbreaker become part of their own personal landscape. Tree's passing prompted an outpouring of grief across music and online communities, reflecting the reach of a career that blended viral internet culture with mainstream chart success. He crossed every line, genre, platform, generation. He made songs that worked in clubs and songs that worked in bedrooms at 3 a.m. He made videos that got memed into oblivion and then outlasted every meme. He told Zach Sang that he didn't believe the wealth he generated was really his to keep, that his role was to make things, put them into the world, and let them go. He understood what most artists spend their whole careers chasing, that the work doesn't belong to you, it belongs to whoever needs it, and the people who needed it showed up in their millions. On every platform, in every language, playing Life Goes On in a loop. Rewatching Miss You, going back to Alien Boy and Hurt and the videos he'd made. In Ukraine and Latvia and Cape Town, videos with $0 budgets that look like nothing else ever made. Oliver Tree was one of 6 people to die in that crash, and before his death, the Life Goes On singer had revealed his family won't receive any of his wealth. Whatever he built it to give away. The music already was. He'd been releasing it for 15 years, constantly, compulsively, joyfully, and leaving it behind for anyone who wanted it. Tree spent years defying expectations at every turn, and that is the only way to understand the scale of what happened when the music world stopped to pay tribute. It wasn't about chart positions or streaming numbers or how many Coachella stages he'd played. It was about the fact that somewhere in the architecture of his absurd, sincere, totally original work, people found something real, something they recognized. Diplo said it best, "I'm not going to say I miss you yet, because somehow you're still here, still inspiring me right now." The body of work he left behind, 4 albums, hundreds of millions of streams, music videos he wrote and directed and dragged to the far corners of the earth. That doesn't go quiet. Songs like Life Goes On don't get smaller over time. They get bigger. They absorb more of what people bring to them. And what people are bringing to them right now is grief and gratitude and the particular ache of knowing there won't be any more. Oliver Tree was 32 years old. He had a world tour planned. He had a new independent label. He had songs written across 7 continents. He had more to say. But what he